Let me ask you something. When was the last time the world felt stable? Take a second. Because if you look back over the last 20 years, it feels like we've been moving from one crisis to another. Financial crashes, global conflicts, pandemics, market meltdowns. Each one arrives suddenly. Each one feels unprecedented. Each one makes headlines that sound like the end. And every time it happens, people say the same thing. We should have seen it coming. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We almost never do. Humans have an interesting habit. Before a crisis, uncertainty feels manageable. After a crisis, uncertainty feels obvious. We rewrite the past to make chaos look predictable. We connect dots that were never connected. We explain events as if they were inevitable. But in the moment, nobody truly knows. And that's what makes markets and life so uncomfortable. Because we crave certainty. We want clear signals, clear warnings, clear timelines. We want someone to tell us, "Don't worry, this won't happen." Or, "Sell everything, disaster is guaranteed." But reality doesn't work like that. Reality is quieter, messier, unpredictable. And the most dangerous events, they don't send invitations. They don't knock politely. They arrive like storms, sudden, violent, disruptive. And once they pass, we convince ourselves we saw the clouds forming all along. But here's something even more fascinating. While dramatic disasters grab our full attention, steady improvement barely registers. A market crash of 25% in a week? Terrifying. A slow 8% annual growth for a decade? Boring. A sudden headline screaming collapse? Compelling. A quiet decade of rising living standards? Ordinary. Our brains are not neutral observers of reality. They are survival machines, and survival machines prioritize threats. Imagine two headlines. The economy is on the brink of collapse versus technology continues gradual improvement. Which one feels urgent? Which one feels intelligent? Which one makes you lean forward? Exactly. Fear sounds analytical. Fear sounds serious. Fear sounds smart. Optimism sounds naive. But here's the twist. Over long periods of time, progress outpaces collapse. Markets recover. Innovation continues. Societies adapt. Yet we remember the storms more vividly than the sunshine, because storms are loud. Progress is quiet. So the real question isn't, how do we predict the next disaster? It's this: how do we think clearly in a world wired to amplify fear? How do we make rational decisions when our biology pushes us toward panic? How do we prepare for shocks without being paralyzed by them? Because history shows something powerful. The biggest gains often come closest to the biggest drops, and the loudest predictions are rarely the most accurate. In this video, we're going to explore two powerful ideas: the surprise storm principle, why the biggest events are rarely predictable, and why bad news almost always sounds smarter than good news. Once you understand these two patterns, you stop reacting emotionally and start thinking long-term. And in markets and in life, long-term thinking wins. Let's begin. Have you ever heard about the quiet worker who passed away and surprised everyone? He worked ordinary jobs his entire life. Nothing glamorous, no big titles, no spotlight. But when he died, people discovered he had quietly built millions in savings. No lottery ticket, no inheritance, no viral startup, just patience, discipline, and time. He didn't try to look rich. He focused on becoming financially secure. The lesson? Money doesn't reward IQ as much as it rewards behavior. You don't need elite degrees. You don't need to work in finance. You don't need to be a genius. You need consistency. Financial success isn't about knowing everything. It's about controlling yourself when things get emotional. Investing works the same way. Everyone wants high returns. Few people are willing to pay the emotional price, because returns don't come free. They come with volatility, with fear, with doubt. Imagine wanting something valuable. You can either pay for it honestly or try to cheat the system. In investing, the price isn't money, it's patience. It's watching your investments drop 20%, sometimes 40%, sometimes more, and still not panicking. That emotional discomfort, that's the entry fee. Many people say they want wealth, but when markets fall, they abandon the plan. That's like quitting the gym because your muscles hurt. Volatility is not a mistake, it's the cost of admission. If you want long-term growth, you must survive short-term fear. The market will test you. It will scare you. It will embarrass you. It will make you question yourself. But wealth is built by those who understand this. The real risk isn't market drops, it's your reaction to them. Investing isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the calmest. And calm is a skill. Lesson number 3. What looks irrational to one person can feel completely logical to another. When we look at how people handle money, it's easy to judge. Some spend huge amounts on things we'd never buy. Others hoard cash, earning nothing. From the outside, both seem unreasonable. But money decisions don't happen in a vacuum. They're shaped by upbringing, culture, family habits, education, past struggles. All of those create a unique financial lens. What seems reckless to you might feel perfectly sensible to someone else. Take lottery spending. In many countries, lower-income households spend more on lottery tickets than higher-income households. At the same time, many of them would struggle to cover an emergency expense. At first glance, that feels contradictory. Why spend on chance when stability is fragile? But perspective matters. If someone lives paycheck to paycheck with limited opportunity, limited mobility, a lottery ticket represents more than math. It represents possibility. For some, it's not about probability, it's about hope. When financial security feels out of reach, a small ticket becomes a symbolic entry into a different future. Seen through that lens, the behavior feels less irrational and more human. Now, what does this mean for you as an investor? First, copying others blindly is dangerous. Everyone's goals, responsibilities, and tolerance for risk are different. A billionaire protecting wealth invests very differently from someone trying to build it. If your goal is growth, you may need calculated risk. If your goal is preservation, your strategy will look conservative. Following someone else's blueprint without understanding your own reality leads to frustration. It also reminds you to stay within your circle of competence. When market frenzy hits, trending stocks, speculative hype, it's okay to sit it out. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Understanding that people operate from different realities allows you to judge less and think more clearly. And when you think more clearly, you make better decisions. In the end, financial behavior isn't just about numbers, it's about context. Recognize your own context, respect others, then build a path that fits your goals, not someone else's. History is full of moments no one truly saw coming. Economic crashes, global conflicts, financial meltdowns, pandemics. Each one changed society. Each one shook markets, and almost none of them were predicted clearly beforehand. Some thinkers call these events rare shocks. They share three traits. They come from outside normal expectations. They hit hard, and after they happen, everyone suddenly claims they were obvious. That's the trick of hindsight. Now imagine this. You wake up one morning and the market has dropped 25% in a single day. Would you panic and sell everything? Or would you stay calm, maybe even invest more? Here's something powerful. If you invested for the long term but missed only a few of the strongest recovery days, your total returns would be dramatically lower. The biggest gains often arrive close to the worst drops. The lesson? Instead of trying to predict the next shock, prepare for it. Build mental strength. Keep financial flexibility. Expect volatility. Because the next crisis won't send you a warning email. Why bad news sounds smarter. If someone tells you the economy is about to collapse, listing debt, inflation, global instability, it sounds convincing, serious, intelligent, analytical. But if someone says technology is improving, healthcare is advancing, energy is getting cleaner, living standards are rising, it sounds ordinary. Why? Because our brains are wired to notice threats more than progress. Loss feels heavier than gain. Danger demands attention. Growth unfolds quietly. Bad news spreads fast because it happens suddenly. Good progress moves slowly, almost invisibly. It's easier to build a dramatic story about disaster than about steady improvement. That's why pessimism often sounds wise and optimism sounds naive. But zoom out. Short pause. Over long time periods, the world improves more often than it collapses. The real edge: understand your bias. Don't be hypnotized by fear. Markets reward patience, but they charge a fee called volatility. Remember, never risk what you need for what you don't. Different perspectives create different rational decisions. Prepare for storms. Don't try to predict lightning. And be careful whose advice you follow. Because fear is loud. Pause. Progress is quiet. Slightly pause. And long-term thinking wins.
Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you even a little, please like it, share it with someone who needs it, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and follow me for more simple, powerful motivational videos like this. Your support really means a lot.